In the meantime, there is so much to talk about, including these games that are coming up, and we will talk about in a segment called Game of the Week. And we're going to start with my guy, Mr. Anthony Handy, on a gentleman we actually just really kind of dove into just a little bit. Baker Mayfield went from Cleveland to Carolina. Now he's getting a new start. We've seen what he did in Cleveland, and no, it wasn't just commercials. It wasn't just those commercials. He took a team that before he got there was 1-30, I think 1-31 or
1-31.
Yeah, 1-31. He took them to the playoffs, whooped up on the Steelers, putting up like 28 in the first quarter. Okay, Baker did all that, but obviously because everything that went down, the OBJ nonsense, all that stuff, I'm doing too much talking. Anthony, talk about this game, this first revenge game, and what should we expect, man?
Well, I'm expecting both teams to come out high energy.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that because I follow Baker since he was at Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
He may not always get the job done. See the 2017 Rose Bowl for reference. Anyway, he may not always get the job done, but he's one thing he's really good about is getting the guys hyped up, getting his teammates around him hyped up, excited, and energized. Even in that game that I mentioned, they came out the gate. They were smacking Georgia in the mouth, but this is not college football. We talking about pro ball. He's really good about getting those guys up for the game. I think he's going to go to Carolina. He's going to have those guys ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
And then there's the smack talk. There's did he say I'm going to F these guys up, or did he just say I'm going to kick their butt? I tend to lean towards the other side, the first option, because, he was in Cleveland. He went from Bone Thugs to Petey Pablo at the stroke of a pen, and either one of them is ready to G up at any point in time. And Baker Mayfield definitely looks like he would take his shirt off, twist around his head like a helicopter. But we know the whole thing with Baker Mayfield. We know his story. Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma. Transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma. Drafted number 1 draft pick by the Cleveland Browns. They had a couple of really crappy seasons, and then all of a sudden the magic happened. The lights turned on. They went 11-5. They went 1-1 in the playoffs, and it was their first playoff win in God, how long? Since like Jim Brown. No, since Bernie Kosar. Since the Bernie Kosar days. Right now the Panthers are projected to finish 7-10, third in the division. But this is a game that they're going to be up for. There's going to be some hits. There's going to be some trash talking on both sides of the ball. But the biggest thing that I see here is right now his top 3 teammates are C-Mac, Robbie Anderson, and Robbie Anderson just got cleared to play this week because he had some problems with quad in his hip. And his right tackle, Taylor Moton. Now, Taylor Moton has not missed a game in like 2 seasons. Okay. So then on the other side of the coin, you got Jacoby Brissett. Who was drafted by the Patriots, who didn't really need a quarterback at that time. There was some guy from Michigan playing ball there, so they didn't really need him, but he was there just in case of emergency, pull parachute. He got traded to Indy in 2017, and he had 2 seasons where he was the primary starter. That was the year that Andrew Luck was hurt. And he threw for 3,098 yards, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His TD to interception ratio was not that great. And they also had a 4-11 record, but they also had an offensive line that was like Swiss cheese that year. And he got sacked, as a testament, his sack line, he got sacked 52 times that season. Then his second big year was 2019. That was the year they named him the starter after the look left. 2,942 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Then he got traded to Miami. Now he's in Cleveland. I think he's got something to prove. I don't know if he's got any gas left in the tank after being kind of moved and shuffled around. And we talked about earlier how the quarterbacks just go from backup spot to backup spot. He's going to have to do something called my father played college ball at Savannah State. some 30 years before. Oh, Uncle Shay did. He was the offensive guard. He was the right offensive guard, if I do understand correctly. He was a big fella, stood at 5'11" and 250 pounds, which was big for 1960s. But he said his coach had an expression, and his coach had a saying. It was called "suck up a gut." He said, when you get out there, you run. When you run out of energy, you got nothing left, and you feel like you want to quit, you reach down and you suck up a gut. So Jacoby's going to have to suck up a gut. I think Baker's going to have more juice that day. I think he's going to have more juice that day. I'm just looking forward to that game, honestly. Now, per Vegas, here's the kicker. Per Vegas, while the Panthers are projected to go 7-10, this is per Caesar's Palace. Anybody got a guess what the projected record for the Cleveland Browns is this year?
I would say 10-7, the opposite.
Delilah, you got any guesses? Just spit me a number.
8 games, 8 wins.
8. How about Vegas has Cleveland at 12-4-1 this year?
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't, and that's hold on, and that is accounting for Deshaun not playing all that time. Mind you, that's factored in 12-4-1. So I'm anticipating, even though it might not be a clean game, it might be sloppy. I anticipate a goodly amount of excitement and as hard hitting as they can hit in the NFL, because they're only a couple of years away from wearing the giant padded helmets on Sunday.
Being in bubbles. Oh yeah, just being big bubbles. Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. I'm definitely eager to see the Baker Mayfield start in Carolina, and then also going against his former team. But like you said, hey, C-Mac, everybody, he was this huge dynamic threat, but now everybody just says if he'll play because of the injury issues.
Right.
Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, they have an offense, they have a defense in Carolina, but Cleveland, look, with all the injuries, they, if they can get a healthy team out there, Kobe is a serviceable guy. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens coming into this one.
Well, right now the questionables are Perrion Winfrey, Chris Hubbard, and Jack Conklin, 2 offensive tackles, and Winfrey being a defensive tackle. They're all questionable. There's nobody on the questionable list for Carolina. So, and right now, the odds are the ESPN ticker has Cleveland as a 62.7% favorite.
Okay. I like that.
The needle may move some more before game time, but right now that's where it stands.
Right. Yeah, it could definitely move. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I know it's a game that people will be tuned in to see, if not for anything else, but for the simple revenge factor. Yeah. Cleveland wants to get their shot at Baker. Baker wants to get his shot at Cleveland. Speaking of revenge factors, there was a guy that they said was Danger Russ, who used to play on the West Coast. Actually, still kind of does play on the West Coast. He didn't go that far. Moved from Seattle to Denver, and now plays a mile high for the Denver Broncos. And they go the first week of the year, and they play the Seattle Seahawks, his former team. Delilah, I'm coming to you. Woo, this should be interesting. What are your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, so I feel like this one is like a revenge thing. I think at the end there we're hearing like him and coach there we're butting heads, which happens with quarterbacks and head coaches, right, after a while. And so I feel like his is more like he's going in more to see if he could beat his old coach's team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not even like a question of Gino himself, but it's like I need to come in here and prove that I still had, I have something in my tank. Yeah. Right. Like, I think what's interesting is I feel like both teams have really like decent receivers and have decent like running backs. Like even with injuries, like there's not too many guys out. Yeah. And so I think that in that regard, they're pretty evenly split. And so like, we want to see if Jerry Jeudy could finally have a breakout season, right? Because we don't feel like he's had a quarterback, of this stature to actually see if he could make that happen. So who knows? We might see him explode. But again, you have, Tyler Lockett over there. I know he's hot-headed sometimes, but still, we know he sometimes, gets it, but he still knows what he's doing. You still have DK Metcalf. And so, like, Seattle didn't lose everyone. Actually, it's pretty still intact. It's just they got a new quarterback. Um, but and again, like with Denver, like their defense is supposed, is gonna be pretty good. Like they're gonna be pretty stacked, and so I think that's really what's gonna come down to be honest. Like Russ is definitely gonna go out there and sling it. Like there's no way he's not going to, right? And so, but I think Seattle's gonna put up more of a fight than people think. Is gonna happen. Like I do think, I think Gino's gonna play well. Broncos get the W, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout game. Like
Right.
I do think it's gonna be closer than people think.
Is it the ESPN line has it close, doesn't
They
it?
do, yeah. It was like 57% to like 43, which I know it's still pretty wide, but it's not a wide margin as we see with other games, right? Where it's like 70 to whatever,
Right,
So,
right.
so the margin of error is actually not too bad for the Seahawks, And I've seen weird stuff happen. We know this, right?
Mhm.
Every season we're certain, we're like, this team's gonna get the W, and if something happens because it's football, we're like, wow, okay, I guess not.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't
and
call
so
that one right. Yep.
yeah, I think we're gonna see some good stuff. I think come out of both. But I'm excited to really see Javonte Williams and Jerry Jeudy and see what they do with
Yes.
with this quarterback. I want to see Russ go out there who never missed a game until he broke that thumb.
Mhm.
So like,
Mhm. I want to see Russ look at Seattle's O-line that all of a sudden they built after he left.
right,
Be
exactly.
like, really? Really, guys?
Exactly.
Really? Yeah.
So, I want to see, but yeah, do I give the win to the Broncos? Yeah. But I don't think it'll be a blowout though. I think Seattle defense isn't awful either, and so, but yeah, it should be good, man. Hey, Nick.
Nick.
I
But,
want
yeah,
the
so
smoke.
it should be good. I do like the revenge games, and they pit the old team against, a player against their old team. It's always a good time.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to our guy, Mr. Nicholas. You say it, you just said it.
I want the smoke.
Mario is at Wrigley Field. I believe they have a concert. It's not a baseball game, right? Or is it a baseball game?
No,
it
it's
might
a
be
game.
both.
It's a game.
It's a game. Yeah, because season's not over. It's early September.
No.
But are they Cubs aren't playoff bound, are they?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Wow.
I like that little laugh.
But I was on it. I was honest about that. But we knew we were playoff bound. But I don't know. But the White Sox, I don't know. They've been heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is not a baseball show, but
right. Yo, shout out to our guy Nick. Man, glad you were able to get a chance to watch. Man, he will be back next week to talk this NFL stuff after we have a week's worth of games in the books. I cannot wait to see what he has on the table. And I'll wrap this segment up of Game of the Week. And yes, you see the shirt, it's a little burgundy. I'm going to go ahead and be Homer all day. I'm taking my Washington Commanders, new name, new quarterback. Okay. We're ready. We're going to do this. We're looking for Anthony. What are you looking for? We're about to.
I don't know.
Command.
Stop it, Skip. Stop it.
You know what? To that one, I'm going to give this to myself.
Really?
Nathan didn't like that either.
I'm gonna give you the ultimate Nate. I'm gonna give you the ultimate Nate that's no right.
Right. What are you doing? Look, Washington is coming out. And I mean, look, talk about revenge games. The last team that Carson Wentz played at the end of the year was the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now you got a new look Jacksonville Jaguars team. No Urban Meyer, no Tim Tebow at tight end. You got Trevor Lawrence coming back for his second year. Everybody, was kind of hard on the guy because of the record, but the guy threw for over 3,500 yards. You know what I mean? He had James Robinson at running back, and now he gets his buddy from Clemson, ETN, back. So that two-headed monster in the backfield could be potentially very scary. And Etienne's brother is actually coming up in college. I forget. I don't know if I got to remember where he's playing, but he is a scary entity in that. Then you got Marvin Jones Jr., wide receiver, and you got Christian Kirk, who, as we know, set the wide receiver contract numbers ablaze with his contract coming over here. They are a team that I personally believe a lot of people are going to sleep on, but they're going to be a team that's going to hit a couple people in the mouth this year. I'm interested in seeing what Jacksonville can bring to the table. Washington, as far as us, look, I've been covering us all year. Shout out to our guy, Brian Robinson, out of the hospital after getting shot, after being carjacked in D.C. So right now, potentially they're saying that he could come back, but I'm not. It's for me. You take your time. You sit back. We'll take care of it on this side, young buck. You do your thing. This is a Carson Wentz prove-it game for me. I want to see what Terry McLaurin, freshly signed, in action. I want to see what he's doing. Curtis Samuel, is he healthy, from Carolina? A guy that my guy Anthony is about to talk about, Mr. Jahan Dotson, the shiny new toy that everybody is so excited about. I really want to see what kind of offense we come with. Gibson, I love him. Great hands. But the dude has a fumbling issue that we just have to get fixed. So it's gonna be really intriguing to see what happens. I got us winning this thing very slim, very, very, very slim, by a very slim margin. I just believe that we can do it. It's gonna be a shootout though, because I have no faith whatsoever in my defense. I like my front line. Chase Young will not be back till at least mid-season. So we're talking potentially after the bye, and we get a bye in, I believe, like week 8. Oof. So we still have Jonathan Allen. We still got our rookie Fadarius Mathis out of Alabama. We still got Daron Payne. Matter of fact, Jonathan Allen, Fadarius Mathis, and Daron Payne, all Alabama alum. Then we got Montez Sweat. So we still have a solid line. Our linebackers leave a lot to be desired. We're struggling at that point, and our secondary still kind of has to come together under Jack Del Rio at defensive coordinator. But honestly, I think this is going to be a tight one. I think this is going to be a back and forth matchup. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to be able to just inch past these guys. But watch out for Jacksonville this year, because they are going to be, in my opinion, much improved. And I'm seeing playoffs. I can see them going and doing it. The NFC South, we know Texans. We know about the Colts, and, Matt Ryan could do something. And we know about the Titans. But I think Jacksonville's made enough moves, and number 1 pick out of Georgia. They Trayvon Walker. They were able to get him. So I'm eager to see what they bring to the table. I think it's going to be a tight one. NFC.
You said NFC South. You meant AFC South.
I mean, right? AFC in the South. Yeah, in the AFC South. I think it's going to be a tight one. Kind of similar to how we did the Chargers a year ago, where we just lost that in the end. I think it's going to be a turnover late in the game that's going to make the difference. But I'm very, very nervous about Mr. Trevor Lawrence, because I think he's about to light the world on fire with his air attack this coming year. So
yeah, that boy said he had enough of losing.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think that's like probably the first time he's really been losing as bad as he did, coming all the way up from high school, college, you know what I mean? So I'm eager to see kind of what he does, because I know he's now set and ready to go. He's going to get our old guard, Brandon Sheriff. He's got him over there. So let's see what he brings to the table. But it's gonna be I'm gonna be sitting here like pulling out the little hair I have, because I already know it's gonna be stressful, because our defense I'm not excited about, but our offense, Carson Wentz, this is an opportunity. Let's see what he brings to the table. And like we talked about before, this is a make it or break it, in my opinion. If you want to start anywhere else, including here, you're gonna have to show that you are definitely improved. So we'll see. We will definitely see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a number of games going on this week. The Bills playing the Rams, the ones that we mentioned. Dallas playing the GOAT. Dallas playing the Buccaneers. There is a number of games, and we cannot wait to see what happens. Thursday night is when it all starts off.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.